Very much, Father. It's a pleasure to be here, and just to let you know, I do have 4 children. One is not here today; he's on vacation, unfortunately, Jared. So that's why he's not here. But as I look around, I have to tell you how pleased I am to see each and every one of you. And I have met you in my journey in the past 4 years with the events that I have attended. And I just want to say thank you for coming out and sharing this moment with me. Now, a lot of people want to know what is it that I have done and why would I run again for re-election. Well, I have to let you know that there are quite a few things, and we're not going to go through every single thing, but it's all highlighted in the kit that you were provided. But I'm going to shed light on a few projects that I worked very hard in the past 4 years. One is domestic violence against women. I have had the opportunity to work with Yellow Brick House, which is a shelter here in the city of Markham, and worked very hard to raise funds so that they could sustain themselves for the next 4 years until the provincial government funding materializes. In addition to working with Yellow Brick House, I've worked for seniors in working to have support system in place for them. For example, when they speak about transportation, when they speak about access to community centers, when they speak about access to the kind of programs the city of Markham has. And by doing this and recognizing, and how did I get to know what the concerns are of seniors? I sit on the Seniors Advisory Board for the York region, and I sit on the Seniors Advisory Committee here for the city of Markham. So when you want to know about something, you need to put yourself in that area, and that's what I have done. Now, we all know that York University campus is coming here to the city of Markham. Well, when I first got elected, I ran on transparency and accountability. And when we had the announcement of York University coming, I said to our mayor and our council, we need to be transparent, we need to be accountable to Markham residents so that they know what's going on. And I suggested that we form a subcommittee. That subcommittee has been meeting for the past year and a half. We have engaged the community in it, stakeholders, the business, the different disciplines here that we have in the city of Markham, whatever the profession may be. So we have been working very hard, and I could at least say to you that we are going to be having our groundbreaking sometime in fall of this year. And we're hoping to have the university open in 2021. Now, that's going to be 4,000 students. So could you imagine the challenges we are going to have with transportation, with housing, with the businesses, with safety? All those things is what we're working on as we progress. Now, I have to tell you, I am so proud to hear from my dad, who've spoken about his time in moving from Trinidad to here, and one or two of the obstacles that he has encountered. And I've always learned a lot from my parents, my mom and my dad, and I am so blessed to have them here with me, still alive and still celebrating. And I think, Mom and Dad, you celebrated your 65th wedding anniversary just recently. 65. So could you imagine? Today's society, unfortunately, people do not hold on to marriages for so long because there are a lot of other problems that they face. And you know, my parents, they're my rock, and without them I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'll give you a clear example, and I'm deviating a little bit because this is who I am, and I need you to understand why it is that I do what I do. When I was running for politics, and we're talking the past, my daughter indicated when I was pregnant with her, she knew about politics because I would read and I would be attending political. And Amanda is 23 years old, so 23 years ago I've been on this journey. And my mom would say to me after I've lost one of these nomination battles, and the following day I'll be in court, she would say to me, "Hon, where do you get this energy from? How do you manage to, you're defeated and now you're going the following day to help these people in the courthouse? And I looked at her and I said, Mom, I got it from you. I got it from you and Dad because you guys had your struggle. My dad indicated that we've been living here in Canada for 50 years. Well, we've had our journey, and I have to say to you, Markham here is the most diverse city in all of Canada. And I don't know how many of you have been in Canada for over 50 years, but I'll tell you, when we were growing up, we were the only visible minority that you could see. And we didn't have an opportunity to share the culture that we do today. That's why when I go to the Asian community culture, the South Asian community, the African, the Hungarian, the Italian, all these different communities, we're able to share the different culture with each other. We didn't have that then. So, coming back to my family here, my husband, he says that, you know, he's amazing, and I couldn't be blessed more than what I have right now with him. And my children, I am so fortunate to have them doing the things that they do. Thank you so much. But I want to say to you guys, you're the media. You guys do so much. You raise awareness about issues here in the city of Markham. We've had situation about the asylum seekers. We've had people pro and against. We've had what Doug Ford has done with the downsizing of the City of Toronto elected officials. We've had where he changed from our elected chair to now we do not elect a chair in York Region. We've had a lot of things, and you've been there talking about it. And I can only applaud you, the media, for being there, taking the interest, and bringing this information to the forefront of Markham residents and York Region residents. So when we talk about passionate and what I'm all about and why it is that I'm running, you've heard some of the things. But there's something dear to me. And I saw this. And I saw this wheelchair water park. And I saw that this couple who has a young child, and that child was in the water park, and because the child was physically challenged, that the child wasn't allowed to go into certain things. So what he did is he formed a park, and it's called the water park, accessible for all, and it's in San Antonio in the United States. And I said that given the work that I do with people with Parkinson's disease, with autism, with cancer, with a whole list of other diseases, mental health illness, that we don't really look at because we're so busy in our day-to-day lifestyle, that I said we need a place like this in Markham. So I have started my journey. I've spoken with the city staff, I've spoken with our mayor, I've spoken with other members of the community here, and they are on board. So I am looking forward to the next 4 years to creating this water park, fun park for people with a disability. So someone with a wheelchair could go in, and if you want a little more information about it, please check out my social media because it's in there. When you see that video, you would be so pleased to know that we are going to challenge something like this and make it happen here in the city of Markham. Now, there are a lot of things. We talk about youth homelessness. Well, we have an agency called 360 Kids, and 360 Kids, their mandate is to help young people who have been homeless. So think about homelessness. What do you think? Well, someone who no longer lives at home, who's been kicked out. But do you know what homelessness also means? Well, if my daughter got annoyed with me and she went and she stayed with a friend for a week and slept on her couch, that's homeless for a week. And we don't see it as homelessness, but it happens. So we have to make certain that we are there for those individuals. We have to make certain that they have the resources. So what I did is I brought together over 50 different businesses to come and learn about 360 Kids and how they can help young people here in the city of Markham by providing employment for them. So those are some of the things that I have done. There's so many other things with respect to women's issue, seniors issue, youth issue, and then employment for all of us, affordable housing, infrastructure. we talk about we need to have infrastructure here in the city of Markham before we can progress, and one infrastructure would be better roads. Well, we are working on that. We're working on it in York region because they're regional roads, and here in the city of Markham. But you know what we're asking each and every one of you? Excuse me for a second. We're asking you to carpool. Instead of just using your car and you alone being in that car, carpool. Then we have smart commute, which is you park your car at an area, but then you take transit. We're asking you to fill the transit system that we have, because when we first started, we would have complaints from people saying nobody's taking it, and we're spending money to help you to move from one place to the other. So we're encouraging you to do that. So there are a lot of things here in the city of Markham that we continue to work on. We have a bus terminal coming up right next to Markham Stouffville Hospital at 9th Line and Highway 7. That's going to be something that, again, the transportation, the route, and accessible transportation for each and every one of you. We have condominiums coming up, and you want to know why it is that we have to have those condominiums built here in the city of Markham. Why can't they go to another municipality or another area? Well, with the places to grow at here in Ontario, we are designated to have more people come into York region. And where can they go? City of Markham is one of the places. So where do we place these people? We've got, if you look at north of Major Mackenzie, we've got green area. There's a future urban area that's coming forward in the next couple of years that there's going to be growth. Do we want to go further in the green belt? No. So we need to put people, we need to place them, so we have to look at where can we. So Highway 7 is designated as intensification area. So our buildings that are going to be 20 to 40 stories are going to be built. It's not going to be built tonight or tomorrow, but within 5 years, 10 years. So we are experiencing growth, we're experiencing more homes, and whether it's affordable, we're trying our best, because with a new law that's been passed with the Planning Act, the government has indicated that we want to entice developers to at least include housing that are affordable. So we, as council, we're going to make certain that when they come forward to say that they're going to be building, this condo that's 40 stories, we want to make certain that there are going to be some affordable homes in that condo for others. So there's a lot of things, work still to get done, work that have been accomplished, and the last thing I want to touch on is multiculturalism. When you look at the culture that we have today, I go to so many different culture, and I share the culture, whether it be the way we dress, the food we eat, the certain pattern of behavior. What I would like to do is I'd like to bring it together, bring the cultures together. And in my next 4 years, we're going to be hosting a lot of events where we can bring each and every culture together and share those experiences, and that's what we need to do. So that's another thing that I'm asking for your support so that we can work together. So I will leave it open now for questions from the media, if please.